As John said, the United States of America versus Donald Trump and Waltine Nada, who is his valet. Paula, first to you,
Sure.
as you've been going through. What stands out?
The first thing that stands out is, let's recall our town hall where our colleague Caitlin Collins asked former President Trump if he had ever showed anyone classified information. His response was not really. Well, this indictment suggests that, quote, on 2 occasions in 2021, the former president showed classified documents to others. Now, this indictment specifically lists 2 instances. The first is in July 2021 at his Bedminster Golf Club. This is the audio recording. We broke this news last week. Today, we exclusively brought people the exact transcript, which is reflected here. They describe how he tried to show a document to members of his staff, people who were there writing a book, none of whom, quote, possessed a security clearance. He described it as a plan of attack, basically confirming our reporting. The second incident is in August or September of 2021. They say also at Bedminster, the former president showed a representative of his political action committee, a PAC, who also did not have a security clearance, a classified map related to a military operation, and told that person he should not be showing it to them and that the representative should not get too close. So just in the first couple pages, we have 2 instances of the former president months after he left the White House sharing classified documents.
Other thing that stands out to me as I look at what I believe is the first addendum, counts 1 to 31. There are 31 counts in here listed one by one. And as often happens, if you look, for instance, at the Manhattan case, counts under the same category, right? So tell us what stands out to you.
There's specific crimes. And I think one of the big items here is the fact that the former president was obstructing this investigation. And what this indictment does is it goes through some of the instances, what they say they accuse the former president of doing. They say that he falsely, he told his lawyer to falsely tell the FBI and the grand jury that he did not have these documents that were being called for by, that he was demanded to produce.
He instructed his attorney to lie.
Correct, right. And it doesn't say exactly, at least from what I'm reading, which one, but we know that Evan Corcoran is one of his attorneys who did testify and who was forced to testify and whose attorney-client work was produced to prosecutors as a result of a court order.
Does this presume that Corcoran told federal prosecutors that he was told to lie?
Again, we don't, from what we're reading right now, we're still going through it. It doesn't exactly lay this out, but it lists the various obstruction items that the former president is being accused of. It also says that the former president directed the defendant, Walt Nada, to move boxes of documents to conceal them from his attorney. Again, we know that Evan Corcoran is the person who was going to do a search to try to satisfy this subpoena that he was under, that the former president was under, to produce these documents. This happened last summer. Again, according to the federal prosecution here, is that Walt Nada was being told to move documents, these boxes of documents, to conceal them from Evan Corcoran ahead of time before he conducted this search.
Yes, and also we're now able to report that here at 3 p.m., so here in just about an hour or so, the special counsel is going to be making a statement. So this is very unusual. You do not often see this, right? And so what should we be looking for here? What do you think, Evan, that this is going to be like?
Look, I think the importance of Jack Smith, and I know that the Justice Department and the way that the system operates right now, they're trying to restore normalcy to the department after the last few tumultuous years. And there is this great reluctance for them to speak anything or say anything outside of these court documents. But the importance of Jack Smith coming out today is that you need to have someone who can explain to the American public, this is what we've done, this is what this investigation has done. According to this document, the Federal Bureau of Investigation opened a criminal investigation of the former president on March 30th. Of 2022. So this investigation has been going on since March 30th of last year. And, it's important for Jack Smith, who has run this investigation since he became special counsel, for someone to stand before the cameras and the American public and explain what it is that this investigation has done, why it's important to do these things, why it's important to bring these charges against the former president.
It's actually not Just 31 counts.
Right.
It's 1 to 31 for willful retention of national defense information, but it goes on to list additional counts: conspiracy to obstruct justice, 32. Count 33, withholding a document or record. Count 34, corruptly concealing a document or record. And by the way, each of those listing Donald Trump either by himself or along with Nada. Count 35, concealing a document in a federal investigation. Count 36, scheme to conceal. Count 37, false statements and representations. Count 38. It's a long list.
Yeah.
Each
Each
document.
document is a count.
Right.
And we now know
False
which
statements and
documents we're
representations.
talking about. For
Yeah.
all this time, we haven't known
Yeah.
all the documents.
So
We now
38
listed,
counts in all. 38 is the count.
they
I want you
listed
guys to
31
look-
documents as well.
I just had a jaw dropper here, and I've been covering this along with Evan for nearly a year now. On page 10, they describe how Walt Nauta was one of the people who helped him pack up his boxes. The boxes went from the White House. They contained classified information to the Mar-a-Lago Club. But they say from January through March 15, 2021, some of those boxes were stored in the Mar-a-Lago Club's white and gold ballroom. They have a picture of it. So class boxes with classified documents in a ballroom where they, quote, had events and gatherings taking place. They were for a time stacked on the ballroom stage as depicted in this photograph, and they obscured the person's identity. They appear to have taken a picture with these boxes. I mean, that is a stunning detail that our classified secrets were in a ballroom in Southern
question.
Florida.
And here's why it's even, just think about
Yeah.
the context that we talk about the Espionage Act and why this is so important. Normally, people think about espionage, think about the traditional spy apparatuses. But the Espionage Act is to guard against the disclosure or the careless retention of documents by those who are not authorized to have them, who do not have the lawful custodial responsibility of those. It includes people who otherwise would have had the authority to have the documents and have placed them in a position, as Paula is alluding to, where it could be viewed or disclosed. And they have listed for the first time now the 31 documents of different levels of top security clearance, top secret clearance at different points to suggest that the issue of whether or not this will fall into the category of defense-related information, this has now been clearly identified.
And let's just to note that I've covered the intelligence agencies. I had a security clearance myself for a couple of years. I'm going to read some descriptions of the documents involved here. Number 4, top secret special handling, including military activities and planning of foreign countries. Number 5, document dated June 2020 concerning nuclear capabilities of a foreign country. Number 9, undated document concerning military attacks by a foreign country. Some of them not just the top secret label, but the no foreign label. That stands for no foreign, meaning these documents were not meant to be shared with anybody outside the U.S. intelligence community due to their sensitivity. In other words, these are not low-level classification markings, and by the way, not low-level topics for classified intelligence markings. Nuclear, foreign attacks, military activities by foreign countries. It's sensitive material.
Yeah, it's in this indictment is really fascinating. I will say, as you read part of it, and you can see they're looking at the deposition of Walt Nauta or his testimony and underscoring what they say they know to be false about the movement of some of these documents. There's a lot that this reveals. There's a lot that it also does not reveal, to your point, Laura Coates.